welcome back to the channel for my review of Ninjago Season 11, Episode 13, The Explorers Club. At the Monastery, the ninja try to complete the Titan mech, so they stand a fighting chance against the Pyro Vipers. Meanwhile, the other three ninja are in the city and go to the Explorers Club to get the second scroll. But this jerk receptionist refuses to let them, so Zane tries to disguise his clutch powers, but that very conveniently fails. With no other choice left, they are forced to infiltrate while outrunning the Explorer guards, and they stumble across a few dangerous artifacts. Then they come to this knockoff mirror of Erised, which instead of showing them the thing that they desire most, shows them the thing they fear the most. Lloyd sees Garmadon, and the other ninja sees some stuff too. Then they come into this room with bugs and stuff, so they use the bugs to distract the explorers. Then they recover the second scroll, and they manage to successfully escape. My favorite part of this episode was by far the mirror scene, and I really liked what this scene had. It showed us some more into the minds of our favorite ninja, and I liked that even though it was inspired by the mirror of Erised, it managed to show us something different and something meaningful as well, especially Lloyd seeing himself becoming his father. Also some possible foreshadowing for Zane becoming the Ice Emperor. A lot of this humor in both the episode and the season in general are missed, but I will say the scene at the beginning with the guy who had the arrow stuck in his back was actually kind of funny. Now, moving on to what the other ninja were doing back at the monastery, although this was definitely not focused at all in this episode, and we only saw a couple minutes of it, I still think that it was cool, and it fit the kind of serious tone of what was happening at the moment, with the ninja about to pretty much run out of options and lose their lives to the Pyro Vipers. So I thought that was cool, seeing some of the Titan mech coming into action. I liked all of that, and I liked some of the adventures of the other ninja at the Explorers Club, although I definitely did have my problems with this episode too. As I've already said, a lot of the humor in this season has not been good, and I particularly want to talk about Zane trying to infiltrate the club. This was completely out of character for Zane, and not to mention not funny at all, and particularly the part where he tries to be clutch powers. I think having the eye patch switch would have been fine on its own, but seriously, Zane is smarter than this. Zane doesn't say that doesn't look suspicious at all. That is completely out of character, and that's another thing this season kind of has as a problem. Sometimes I feel as if characters are completely being taken out of character and doing stuff that really isn't them. So this was an example of one of them. Nia in this episode was also kind of weird at times, such as especially her, I think she called that receptionist penny pincher or something like that. I can't remember specifically, but it definitely reminded me a lot of the really rude Nia that we saw in the Sons of Garmadon premiere, when she was like, oh, it's just a palace and stuff. I don't like that Nia, and this felt a lot like that to me. So yeah, I really didn't like that. Also, really trying to make middle-aged British men seem like villains seems a bit forced to me, although I will say this episode was fun in its own way. The plot of this episode definitely wasn't one of its strong points. It does take a break from the main plot to kind of show us a side story, and I mean, I think it was for the better that the Scroll of Forbidden Spijitzu wasn't hidden in another cave or deadly tomb like the Mask of Hatred or the Realm Crystal, so this was creative in its own way. Although I guess this is one of those episodes where another creative surprises episode where the writers are specifically making use of the 11-minute format for this episode. So, I mean, I guess it was fine. I don't think it was anything really to complain that much about. So, talking about characters, obviously the main focus of this episode would be Lloyd, Nia, and Zane. And I think each had their own nice moments. And I'm talking about the mirror scenes. However, I also feel that Zane was taken out of character in the Clutch Powers infiltration scene, and they just kind of took Zane out of character just so they could get a few jokes in there. Nia also was acting really rude, talking about that receptionist guy like a penny pincher, and I mean, I guess I kind of agree with that. That guy is a total jerk, but this is completely out of character for Nia, although I guess it is kind of like she was in the season premiere of Sons of Garmadon, but this is not the real Nia, so I just didn't really like that. And also talking about the action, again, this is another episode where the action really does feel forced, although not so much as episode 6 with the bikers and the fireballs and stuff. So I guess the action wasn't as forced as that episode or Snake-tastrophe, and I thought it was nice. It was a fun episode. And talking about emotion too, the mirror scene was really, really good. I really liked that scene. I felt as though it did have meaning for it, and I think it is definitely one of the better scenes of the fire chapter. My final rating for this episode is a 7.5 out of 10. I feel like it was kind of filler in a way, just taking a break from the main plot and stuff, but also not filler since the ninja were there for a reason, and there were some significant scenes too, like the mirror scene, which I really did enjoy, and it was a nice look into what our ninja are thinking. Now, I really didn't like some of the characters being taken out of character and just acting like they don't, especially Zane acting really stupid, and then Nia also, although we have seen this side of her in Ninjago before. But that's going to be all for this review. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone ever you know, and let me know what you guys thought of episode 13, The Explorers Club. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.